YouTube. I often hear people make the claim that there's no such thing as free will because essentially the world is a mechanistic place. The universe is just a chain of causes leading to results that lead to other causes. So, and humans as sentient beings are just one piece of that chain, just one link. So basically, we can't be said to make our own decisions because we are simply caused by everything that came before us, and therefore we don't have free will. This is a view well exemplified by someone I admire, Sam Harris. He talks about this a lot, and you can see his views sort of summed up in a blog post called The Illusion of Free Will, which he has on samharris.org on his website. So you can check it out there if you like. I want to challenge this notion. I have a different way of thinking about it. I'm not sure if I'm way off base here, so I'd be happy to have feedback. And if this has already been addressed, point me to where it is. I'll tell you what I'm thinking about it. Here we go.
So represented visually, maybe Sam Harris's characterization could look like this, or something like it. Prior conditions such as biology, upbringing, circumstances, and more are what define a person, and then the person takes actions which they feel like they're choosing, but since they had absolutely no control over the prior conditions, they're not really choosing. The person is more a sort of slave to the prior conditions in this case. So effectively, it might as well just look like this. So the conditions of biology and circumstance are what determines the action, and the person figure is sidelined, at least in the sense of having any real agency. There's a direct chain of causation between biology, nature, nurture, circumstance, and action. This image to me captures what Sam Harris means when he says we don't make our own decisions. But my question would be, what is this sidelined person figure anyway, that apparently has no agency? This goes to the question of the self. What is it, if it exists at all? And this is a central question in Buddhism, and one which Sam Harris talks about a lot. It's a big question, and I can't really do it justice here, but I think it's crucial to ask, what is this person term pointing to? Is it a placeholder for the collection of cells and tissues that make up a human body at a given moment in time? Or a set of neurons that have a particular firing pattern at a particular instant? Whatever it is, in this worldview, we seem to view it as an entity that is separate from biology, upbringing, etc., which is why it deserves to be its own term. And if this person is a collection of tissues and neurons at a moment in time, this model seems very concerned with whether this collection of tissues and neurons makes its own decisions. But personally, I would say that I don't feel like just a collection of tissues at an instantaneous moment in time in a way that's separate from my biology and history. It seems to me that much of what we are, if we're anything, is better captured here in the first term. Our biology, our circumstances, our knowledge and memories are us, or at least a part of us. I would say that rather than a separate entity, I am my biology, upbringing, circumstances, etc. So if a person is anything at all, I would say they're equal to their biology, upbringing, and circumstances. And if these things determine their actions, biology, upbringing, circumstances, then logically, a person determines their actions. This is just part of the classic logical syllogism. If A equals B and B leads to C, then A leads to C. Now I understand that it may strike some as implausible to say that my upbringing and circumstances are me. So maybe we could dial it back and at least consider just biology. In the case of the most reductive view of a person as a collection of cells and tissues at a moment in time, this is my biology, is it not? So at the very least, I am my biology. If a person equals their biology, not a separate thing from it, and my biology determines my actions, then I determine my actions. So I think this captures what it means to be a person making decisions in a true sense, and it logically leads to the conclusion that people do choose their actions. Doesn't it? Am I crazy to think this way? Or am I missing something? Maybe this view already has a name. Maybe it's already been addressed. If you know anything about it, please send it my way. And let me know what you think in the comments or in a private message.